I'm the creator of Fabel Knitwear. I'm here with a finished object. This project and knit has been finished for a while. I have simply not had time. It's just been so busy, as I spoke about very briefly in my last video, the Decadence blouse introduction. It's been so hectic this autumn, and I'll tell you some more about it if you're interested. On November 1st I moved into my new studio, which is located in Saint-Anselme, which is the neighbourhood I live in Oslo, which has just been marvellous. I had a studio at Rua, which is kind of a bit on the outskirts of Oslo Central. It takes about 40 minutes door to door to get there with public transport, which I know, like in a big city perspective, isn't bad. When I lived in London, it took, like, I would just expect something to take up to 2 hours, like if I had to get to work somewhere, and it at least takes 40 minutes. So get it, when I moved back to Oslo, it was just such a luxury. You can get anywhere in Central within half an hour. But now I've lived here for 6 years, nearly 7, yeah, 6, and I am spoilt. I have become spoilt, and with the pandemic it just became so prevalent that those 40 minutes, it took a while one way. And it's perfect. It's 20 kvadratmeter, square meters. So it's not huge, it's the same size as my previous studio, but it has everything I need. It has a sink, it has, yeah, what I need. Place to work, place to dye, place to dry things, all the things. And while it's not huge, and it's not like the dye studios that I see pictures of abroad, where probably larger studios are more readily available than they are in Oslo, it fits my needs perfectly. And so I moved in there on November 1st, that's when I started moving in. Then I had to have an electrician in, and I painted, and there was just stuff happening. But now all I need is a new ceiling light, because the one I have isn't really good enough, but it does the job. And then it'll be fine. I'm contemplating painting the floors. There's tiles, and they're this deep slate grey, and I don't like them. I feel like they take so much light, so I might do that at some point when I have time to let everything dry and move everything about. But apart from that, it's so great. I can walk to work. It takes like 8 minutes to walk, and I just walk straight through Saint-Anselme Park again, which is the park that we live just above. And oh, it's just so nice. It's on street level, so there's a little window and doors right in, so I'm able to host open studio days. It's nice to be able to offer that now that there's no festivals or anything. So that's been happening, and it takes so much time moving stuff around. And at the same time, I've of course had orders to dye and been so stressed about not having the shop as stocked as I would like. So as soon as I moved in and it was functional, I started dyeing up for a shop update, which I had previously in November. That was just so much stuff happening. And then of course there was the pickles window session, which I set up, and we did pictures, and it took time. It's great fun, but it took a lot of time. And all those things together, it was suddenly November was gone, and I thrive under pressure, but to a certain degree. And I was reaching a point where I was a bit paralysed, because I didn't know where to start, because all the projects were so big. But it's all good. I'm moved in, everything is functional, and it's just tiny little bits that they don't need to be done. And window session is well underway. If you walk by, I hope you like it. And if you haven't and you live in Oslo, you definitely should go for an evening walk and check it out. Just look at the window, and I did the shop update. Thank you if you bought something. And now I'm a bit stressed again because it's running low again, which is of course a problem of luxury. But at least that's just one thing to worry about, not a ton. And there's also a secret project that I am not revealing yet. It's been, yeah, just a lot, which is why, as I mentioned in the last video, I have been a bit absent here, at least because it takes time filming everything, planning it, and then editing. Just it takes a lot of time, and I've just not had it. But finally I can lower my shoulders a bit and enjoy Advent. I love Christmas and I love Advent so much. Last Christmas we went to the US to visit my partner's friend who lives there, and we spent Christmas with his in-law family there. It was really, really nice, but I also came back from holiday, a holiday of palm trees and no snow and no like Christmassy feel for me, because that's not what I'm used to, and kind of felt like, what happened to Christmas? Are we just skipping it this year? Even though we did celebrate, so this year I am so excited for Christmas. We're staying in Oslo with the pandemic and everything. All my family lives here, so it's just going to be us, my parents and my sister and my partner, who is also staying in Oslo rather than going over to Bergen. So that's an update which I didn't give you last time, just because you're not here for that stuff, I'm sure. All that out the way, and all that to say that things have been happening, which is of course super exciting, and I'm so grateful for it. Sometimes it's just a lot. Now to the reason you are here is what I'm wearing, which is the finished object that has been finished for a while. I finished this sometime this autumn, and I've just not taken pictures or done anything. But this is another long-sleeved Eowyn blouse. I have another long-sleeved Eowyn blouse as well, which I knit in Wizard's Ropes in Athena. This one is also knit in Athena, which is my hand-dyed yarn. It is my Merino Nylon Gold Stellina base, fingering weight, my favourite base ever. And it's knit in the colourway Fleur, which is this sort of brownish pinkish cream that I have knit several things in. The long-sleeved Eowyn blouse is an adaptation that I made for the previous one that I knit, and I love it. The original one has sort of sleeves that go to here roughly, and it has a little ruffle at the cuff, and I adore it. It's great for spring and summer and being inside for autumn winter, but it's being short sleeved. It's a bit risky in Oslo during winter, autumn and winter to be honest, and so I wanted a long sleeved version, which I did for the previous one, and then I updated the pattern so that it now has the original sleeves and an option for long sleeves. So you should have been sent that, although if you bought the pattern on Etsy you will not have been sent the update because Etsy doesn't have that feature. So if that's you, you can drop me an email and I will send you the updated pattern with the long sleeves included as well. It's a pattern from my Heroine collection, which was published in 2018, maybe? I think so, spring 2018 I believe is when this was published. It's knit bottom up. It's a cropped, tight-fitting jumper with a square neckline, which you all know is my favourite. It has these delicate little puff shoulders and fitted sleeves in the long sleeved version. This is knit in a 1x1 rib, as is the neckline and the cuff. It really is just a really simple, basic pattern, and I gravitate towards my long sleeved Eowyn blouses just on a daily basis because it's so easy to wear with anything, whether I'm dressing up or just going to work. It really doesn't matter, and it being fingering weight, it's also really easy to wear if you don't know what the temperature is going to be like, because maybe you can wear it inside, even if it's warm, and you're not going to like melt away. And the bus and all those places that you go where it's suddenly warmer, if you do take the bus with the pandemic, you know what I mean. But also, it being warm, it's really great outdoors, and it's also really good underlayer if you have to wear a chunky knit over because it's really cold, just because it's so fine and thin in regards to it's not bulky at all. It really just hugs you and gives you that base layer of warmth. It's knit on 4mm needles, which is, in my opinion, the highest I feel comfortable going on Athena, seeing as it is quite a thin fingering weight, with it still remaining tight knit and dense enough that it's not gapey and holy. I'm not wearing anything underneath. So it's, I think, 4mm. For me, with my gauge, that's like the max of how big needles oh, why is it so difficult to speak? The maximum gauge of needle that I feel like Athena can be knit on while still remaining tight. Ah, I did it. I love my long-sleeved Eowyn blouses so much that I want to knit more. I want one in Nox, which is my black colour, on gold stellina, because gold, sparkle and black is, I mean, yes. I also want one in Acorn, which is my deep brown colour. I want one in Peligrego Ghost, would be amazing. I love that colour. Gröna Glittrarna, which is one of my 2019 advent colours, which is this deep evergreen. And that would be amazing. As with Moonglade, if you prefer a more tealy green. I mean, the options are endless. Gold Thorn. Oh my god, I really want one in one of my 2019, actually two of the other 2019 advent colours. I think this would be so amazing in Kakaman, which is, the base colour is Fleur, but then it has these little lines and speckles of a really festive bright cranberry red and a really festive evergreen green. And they were inspired by Kakaman, which is a Norwegian sweet baked good, which I've not had any of yet this December. I need to remedy that today. And they are so yummy and so just Christmassy. I think that would be amazing. And it doesn't have to be only festive, you could wear that for summer as well and look like a strawberry. Another colour from the 2019 advent calendar that this would be stunning in is Pepperkaka Non-Stop, which was inspired by gingerbread houses and gingerbread hearts that we in Norway at least decorate with icing and non-stop. Non-stop is the Norwegian version of a Smartie, but they are way better and the colours are less neon-y and a bit more homely. So it's this golden brown with speckles of green and orange and red and yellow, and that would be so nice, both autumnal and festive. Ooh, options, and it's quite a quick knit, and that might just be because I love them so much that I can't wait to finish them because I can't wait to wear them. But it is cropped, it is tight fitting, there's no like voluminous parts of it. All this isn't there, so at least once you reach the neckline, it's so quick. It has raglan decreases, and for the puff sleeves you just need to know how to do increases and decreases. It's really simple, so don't be scared of a puff shoulder if you would like to try one. Before we say goodbye, I just want to show you a couple of styling options for this particular knit. As always, bear in mind that these are all picked from my wardrobe and I have my style, so I'm not going to show you how this looks in jeans because I don't really wear jeans often. I have them, but with stuff from my own wardrobe. That doesn't mean it wouldn't also look wonderful with other styles. But let's have a look at some outfit options. That's it. I hope you like it. I know I am very, very pleased with it. My second long-sleeved Eowyn blouse, and more will definitely be joining it. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you are having a lovely Advent. Make the best of it with everything, and I will see you next time. Bye.